Good evening. So we are on a very familiar terrain. We have to be heard amongst all the noise. And I think that's a challenge that all business and administrative leaders of this country face. Respected Chairman, distinguished panelists, audiences, representatives of foreign countries, foreign delegates, friends. India, the largest democracy in the world, second largest population in the world, second largest telecom network in the world, fifth largest producer of steel in the world, seventh largest power producer in the world, the youngest nation on this planet. But if there is one quotient on which we will obviously be number one, that is the level of aspiration. I think Indians and India as a country has the highest level of aspiration, and this particular audience and this particular platform is a glaring example of that. Our today's topic is a comprehensive, well thought through, extremely difficult administrative, regulatory and governmental issue. It's a global issue. Financial exclusion, about half the world's population, which is roughly about 2.5 to 3 billion, is financially excluded. About 90% of that is spread across 3 different continents: Asia, Africa and Latin America. And that's the emerging world. So there is a great challenge, and as we all know, that the opportunity essentially lies in that challenge. I think we are all familiar with the Indian numbers. From a statistical standpoint, we obviously have more than half of our nation underbanked, and I think that's where significant amount of work has already happened. I think we have some great representation on the panel today. Each of them have spent almost 20 to 25 years helping this cause and taking banking to the next level and making sure it reaches to a significantly large population. There have been immense efforts, so let's not take the credit away that significant amount of efforts have been done by government, by both political and administrative leaders. There was the cooperative movement, the establishing of the State Bank of India in 1800, the nationalization process, the formation of self-help groups. These all were essentially efforts which were taken into the direction, and they have reaped good amount of results. Obviously, a lot has to be done. So what are some of the significant reasons? I think the earlier panelists have already spoken about some of the teething issues or some of the significant issues that are faced from a reach standpoint, from a technology standpoint, from a business model non-viability standpoint, from the issue of compassion towards the poor. So these are some larger technology and administrative issues which need to be addressed. So why is there so much of talk about financial inclusion? Obviously, being part of India, we want to achieve our dreams. And the lack of a structured financial ecosystem is not going to help us at all. And C.K. Prahalad showed us the way a few years ago that the bottom of the pyramid is where the opportunity lies. So from both the administrative and the business interest, there is great amount of reach that needs to be achieved, and there is a great amount of penetration that needs to be achieved. A lot of efforts have already been done, both from the ICT side. RBI has been extremely instrumental in driving this through the banks. The banks, all of them, including the private banks, have played their role. But obviously, there is a gap in terms of the scalability. There is a gap in terms of the role that ICT can, will, shall play. And obviously, there is a corporate and administrative will to take this to the next level and not retain it from a corporate social responsibility standpoint. But there is one important aspect which I would like members to ponder over, is that there is a financial literacy perspective and then there is a financial inclusion perspective. So financial literacy is a very important constituent for you to achieve financial inclusion, because people need to know that there exists an ecosystem and you are a citizen of India, you deserve electricity, you deserve banking, you have the right to bank and you have the right to access to financial products. And I think that's where the literacy ecosystem needs to be developed. And I'm not saying there's a great amount of work. NABARD, in my earlier years in management consulting, I've worked very closely with the NABARD officials in taking this to rural India. So I know the work, the kind of work that NABARD has done in this space. And these are some of the critical aspects that need to be looked at from a financial literacy standpoint. And obviously, financial inclusion is not just a buzzword, it is an actionable item. And there is enough prose and content out there in order to execute. I think what is important is that we need to be heard in all the noise. And we need to take the will to execution. And there is enough opportunity, representing a company which essentially has played. So our stake to fame essentially is that we're a $500 million enterprise. And if our name was not Spanco, I have told my chairman this many times, it should have been Bharat or it should have been India, because we have been invested and the only business we do and understand is India. So the last 15 years, 100% of revenue is from India and from e-governance, power distribution and power integrated projects. So we are very much part of the Indian ecosystem, and information technology is a space which needs to be used, and there are caveats and there are issues associated with that. But I think the ecosystem needs to be created, and that's the direction we should take. Thank you so much.